I'm lucky to still be here. But that situation right there is what's killing so many people. I'm extremely lucky that I didn't die that night. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. You've seen the thumbnail and the title. Let's go on ahead and get into it. Why are so many people dying from fentanyl? You know, I can give you a few different answers on that, but the main one is people, you can't do drugs the way you used to. There's a big counterfeit pill problem these days, and that's the main reason people are dying from fentanyl. Now, another big reason is because it's so strong. Fentanyl is a very potent drug. You know, just a little bit of it can kill you. So, but the counterfeit pill issue, people are pressing these fentanyl pills and making them look like prescription drugs. So people are taking what they think is a Xanax or a Percocet or whatever it is, and they think that's what they're taking. And lo and behold, they're not taking that. That's not what they're taking. They're taking fentanyl. And a lot of these people that just do drugs on the weekends, we call them weekend warriors or whatever, they're used to doing, you know, Percocet or Xanax or whatever their drug of choice is, so they don't have a tolerance. So when they get a hold of that counterfeit pill and take it, a lot of times it's lights out because they don't know that they just took fentanyl. It's happening to everybody. And that is why you're seeing people drop like flies over this fentanyl epidemic. You know, and not only that, it's very addictive. It's a very addictive drug. I want to talk about a situation that I had before I knew anything about the counterfeit pill issue that we was having in America, or globally probably. But I was at my dad's one time, and you know, I was looking to have a good night. We was drinking, and usually I would, you know, it wasn't uncommon for me to pop a perk or a hydro or something. So my dad comes at me and says, "Yo, you know, I can get a Roxy 30." I'm like, "Bet." You know, I've done Roxys before. I'm like, "Bet, get it." So lo and behold, this is before I knew anything about the counterfeit pill problem. He gets a hold of what looked like a Roxy 30, but it was a counterfeit fentanyl pill. So we crush half of it up, you know, a little piece of a line, and I go on about my night. So about 15, 20 minutes later, I'm sitting in a chair like I am right now, and I fall out of the chair into the ground, on the ground. They don't know what to do. I guess they think I'm just too drunk or something. You know, it was really stupid how they handled the situation, because I definitely could have died that day or that night. They said my lips were turning blue. That's a clear-cut sign of overdose. Somebody overdosing. If anything on their body's turning blue. So what they do is they can't get me awake. They're trying to pour water on me and all this other dumb stuff. Like, why you would do that, I don't know, but that's what they did. So eventually they pick me up off the ground and they take me and put me in the house and lay me on the recliner. Now, I'm still unresponsive at this point. They cannot wake me up. You know, that if you ever deal with a situation like that, get that person to a hospital. They've overdosed. If you can't get them to wake up, they're not just too fucked up to wake up. They've overdosed. Like, even somebody that's too messed up to be responsive, they're still gonna like be somewhat responsive to you, whether they're slurring their words or whatever. If someone isn't responsive at all, and their lips are turning blue and things like that, get them to a hospital. They've overdosed. It's simple. It's not hard to see. Now, that wasn't the case for me this night. The people that was with me, they were, I guess, ignorant to the fact. I don't really know, but they took me in the house, put me on the recliner, and they went on about their night. Now, I end up waking up in the middle of the night sometime, probably like 3 or 4 in the morning, and I can't move. I can't move. It was the worst feeling I've ever been through in my life almost. So I get up. I finally managed to get up. And I'm stumbling, like I can barely hold myself up. I'm really weak. And I didn't fully understand what had happened until later on in my life whenever I got addicted to fentanyl. And, now that I've been through all that, I can look back at that situation and know that I probably came within a hair of my life. And I definitely overdosed. That was an overdose situation. And I'm lucky to still be here. But that situation right there is what's killing so many people. I'm extremely lucky that I didn't die that night. My family's extremely lucky that they didn't basically kill me, because that would have weighed on all their conscience and everything, you know what I'm saying? Because anybody with a brain knew that I needed to go to the hospital. I would imagine. If I would have saw somebody in that position, I definitely would have gotten them help, because it's not normal for somebody to be completely irresponsive when they slump out of their chair and fall into the ground 20 minutes after they take a drug. It's pretty common. It's common sense. It's something's going on with that person. So that is why fentanyl is killing so many people. People are taking it not knowing they're taking it. I've heard that people are lacing even marijuana with it. It's crazy. I've heard people are lacing marijuana with fentanyl. They're putting it in crack. They're putting it in meth. A lot of times when people fail drug tests for fentanyl, they're failing it for a bunch of other stuff too, like meth, crack, cocaine, all this other crazy stuff, because they're mixing fentanyl in everything. So when you do drugs these days, you're always running a risk of ingesting fentanyl and dying. And fentanyl is definitely the most powerful drug that there is, definitely that I've ever done. I mean, just a little bitty piece can kill you. I overdosed on 2 hits one time. Back when I was smoking it, I took 2 hits of powdered fentanyl and overdosed. Fell flat on my face, and it was lights out. Almost lost my life. Now, I've almost lost my life about 6 times to fentanyl. I've overdosed 6 times. I may go over each and every one of those in another video. One time I overdosed, I burnt the whole side of my face because I had a cigarette in my mouth when I OD'd. It was crazy. But the point of this video is to bring some type of awareness to people as to why this fentanyl is taking so many people out. I mean, this fentanyl epidemic is serious, and I don't even think people are fully aware of it just yet. It's only getting worse. They're dropping like flies over this stuff. It's gonna end up being one of the #1 causes of death if it's not already. We're in the middle of a crisis right now, and it's not really making main headlines just yet, but it will. It's on the way, because based on what I've seen in my own city, it's only getting worse. It's not getting any better. So really that's a big reason why I sparked the idea in my head to start a channel and start bringing awareness to people to stay off of it. Definitely stay off fentanyl, but really just stay off drugs in general, because these days you don't know what you're taking. It's not like 10, 15 years ago when you knew exactly what you was getting and everything was all good, like you were fully aware that you were getting high on a Xanax or getting high on an Adderall or getting high on this, that, and the third. These days, they are pressing fentanyl into these counterfeit pills that look just like prescription drugs. If you do not see that drug come out of a pharmacy, then you don't know what you're taking. I promise you guys, you need to remember that. You don't know what you're taking. And so when you don't have a tolerance to something like fentanyl, that's when it's most dangerous. People that have a really high tolerance, they're actually safer on it. They're actually safer. It's you guys that don't have a tolerance that end up taking it is the ones that's taken out. That's why you gotta be careful. And I advise to everybody, just don't get high. Live life, sober. It's the best way to do it, But anyways, guys, I just wanted to leave y'all with that message, try to bring some awareness, maybe save some lives. Make sure you like the video. If you haven't subscribed, Please do me a favor and subscribe. I drop content like this all the time. And I'm just a guy that decided to get on YouTube, share his life with the world. And as always, peace out.